Yo, hello out there, everybody. Welcome to the History Hyenas podcast with your two resident human hyenas, Chris Stefano and Yannis Pappas. How you doing, Chris? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just born in Queens. Just live that life. It's crazy. I want to do things bad. Yo, I need a dick in my ass. Bad, bad, bad. Yo, Chris, you're wild, man. Yeah, it's how it is when you grow up in Ridgewood, Queens. You just got, a lot of guys, they want to see your dick. Let me show you, let me see your piece. Let me see the dick. Obviously, that's not Chris Stefano because it's not gay enough. So, that was me. I can't really do a good Chrissy D impersonation because he's sort of an impersonation of himself. You know what I mean? So, this is what's going on this week, guys. Chris Stefano has passed away, and now this is, I told you. I told you in the previous episodes. He went out and he bought these black Reeboks. I think we might have mentioned. Did we mention it on this podcast? He bought these, he bought these black high-top Reeboks. Kind of like the black girls in the 90s used to wear those with, like, door knockers. Those are like the meet me outside after school black high-top Reeboks. And Chrissy went and bought him because he's just too wild for society. So I couldn't take it anymore, People's sneakers, if there's something off, it kind of offends me a little bit. So like I've been warning on this podcast, I went to over to Indiana. Very easy to get a gun over there. Just walked into a gun show. I already had dip in my mouth, my little cuck snooze, my general Swedish snooze. So, they thought I was one of their own. No big deal. Boom. Bought myself a gun. Drove all the way back. Told Chrissy we had a gig up in Poughkeepsie. And he was like, yeah. So we drove up, and I walked him up to a hill, and he dug his own hole, and I put Chrissy into it with a bullet to the back of the head. So Chrissy's gone. We've lost him, and believe me, I know a lot of you are going to be upset out there. Look, he was He was a good friend of mine, and I know you guys were immensely entertained by Chris Stefano from Ridgewood, Queens, comedian, transgender man. But, like I said, the world's not going to be a better place now that we're not with Chris anymore. But, score one for Law and Order, A little victory for Law and Order on Sunday. Yeah, I did it on the Lord's Day, too, just so I could stare. I made him take off his shirt, too, And you should have seen the animals in the hills of Poughkeepsie scatter when his anteater tit came out, and I was staring right at the Catholic tattoo on his back, that trashy Queens Catholic mural. He has a mural on his back. It's like a big cross. And I was just staring at it as he was digging away, going, Q, where are we going? Is there a museum underground? Kaya. And so I killed Chris. Bam! I killed him. Bam! So anyway, no, Chrissy's in Scotland, everybody. Don't worry. I'm not gonna waste a life sentence on Chris Stefano and then admit it on a podcast. That would be crazy. Although we would shoot right up to #1 on iTunes, as Chrissy would say. But it's just me and Zach Isis today. We're sitting here.
Salam alaikum.
And there you go. There's your cross-cultural communication right there. Listen, if you're the industry and you're listening, we went even further than getting a Muslim on our podcast. We went and got a member of the most extreme faction of Islam possible, Islam. Now, ISIS. If that's not diversity, I don't know what is. I think we kicked diversity up a notch. All right? We got a terrorist cell on this podcast.
Affirmative action.
It is affirmative action,
At its
right?
best.
At its best. We went all the way. People, they usually get like a, you want to have like a diverse cast. You have like a Muslim, Latin, Asian person. But how diverse really are they, seriously? They're all American. Everyone believes in the same stuff, McDonald's, theme parks, Chinese buffets in rural areas, Pete's, capitalism. So how diverse really are we? How diverse is a Chinese guy whose dad is a doctor and a white guy whose dad is a doctor who grew up in the same neighborhood. Is that really diversity? I don't think so. We went all the way to Queens, right? I went and spoke to a halal cart guy, and I said, look, I want you to find me, I'm talking, not just Muslim, I'm talking about hates America Muslim terrorist. And he said he had a nephew he could get me in contact with, but he would have to speak to the sheik on a burner phone to get, because he didn't even know where his nephew was, because his nephew's constantly on duty doing reconnaissance for his Allah. Allah just means God in Arabic, right?
Yeah, so many people when I was in school, they like thought that I believed in like a different God or something.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just God in Arabic.
Same old thing, right?
Yeah. Same old thing.
Allah's just the word for God.
Yeah, same shit everyone else believes.
Same shit, right?
Same shit.
Yeah, everyone believes in a God who's looking over us, who's getting mad, who gets really mad. You know what I was thinking, Isis? You want me to riddle you something I was thinking about?
Riddle me.
Check this out. I never heard anyone say this, although maybe people have alluded to it, or I haven't read everything that's ever been written, so maybe somebody has. But people always say people got to be godlike, right? But, Joe, when you look at the planet, and that's why I love we're doing this podcast, right? Because I got to tell you, I spend most of my nights watching pretty horrible things in nature just because I'm fascinated by it. The newest animal I've become fascinated with is the Komodo dragon.
Oh, shit. Biggest lizard.
The biggest lizard. They reside in Indonesia. And these fucking sociopaths, I mean, they make hyenas look like social workers. They really do. What they do, these Komodo dragon, biggest lizard on the planet. I think it's like I don't know. Can you look at how fucking big that thing is? I mean, it's a big, slow, disgusting lizard that will eat absolutely anything and most often eats it alive. And this is the reason why.
The male, 8.5 feet. Female, 7.5 pounds. That's 170 to 200 pounds.
So it's 8 feet long?
8.5, 8.5.
So basically, it's a foot and a half taller than fucking Shaquille O'Neal. And it weighs
170 to 200 pounds.
170 to 200 pounds. So, that's a heavyweight boxer. So it's a heavyweight boxer, but it's at 8.5. And I think they can run for fast bursts, right? They pretty much, they chill slow. When they creep up on you, they creep slow. But they can run for short bursts pretty fast. Do you know how fast they can run?
Let's see. You ever seen these things eat meat? They just look crazy.
Yeah, I watched one eat a monkey the other day. I mean, I've been watching these things for like the past 3-4 days. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
12 miles per hour. They can run for 12 miles per hour.
That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast for a big-ass lizard.
For a big-ass lizard with 4 feet. Yeah, it's a big-ass lizard running 12 miles per hour. But listen to the MO of a Komodo dragon, and then I'll get to what I was about to say. And the Komodo dragon is evidence of what I'm about to say. Komodo dragon, this is how it kills. This is how it hunts. You can even watch this video on YouTube. There's one of it just like hanging out by a buffalo. Just kind of hangs out. Buffalo's unfortunately really fucking stupid. I guess it felt like this thing was non-threatening or too small to hurt it. So the buffalo's just chilling, hanging out. And all the Komodo dragon has to do is bite anything just once. That's all it has to do. Doesn't have to kill it. It's just seeking to bite it. And the reason why is because its mouth is a cocktail of deadly venomous bacteria. It's just the dirtiest fucking mouth you've ever seen in your life. Any crackhead you see on the street who hasn't brushed his teeth, he's got one tooth left. Are there even crackheads anymore?
Oh, yeah, I see
meth
them all the
heads.
time.
Yeah,
I see them all the
crackheads.
time.
Yeah, I mean, meth really is like...
They do all kinds of shit.
Yeah, the meth is like the iPhone 10. You know?
Yeah, it's coming in.
And
I feel like pills are the new thing now. Like
opiates, right?
Yeah, like Xanax and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm talking, you ever think about how dirty their mouths are? This is about as million times more dirty than the worst crackhead in the history of the world. So all they do is bite them, and then they wait. They just wait. right? And then slowly the animal dies. And check this fucking out. The animal could even roam away and think it. And usually animals think they're good. They're like, oh, this is going to heal. It's going to good. I'll be good. Rolls. They don't even see the Komodo dragon anymore. All right? This is what this fucking psychopath killer does. I mean, some of these animals are psychopathic killers. So this animal goes about its business. Sometimes a week. It takes up to about a week for them to start getting weak. So they're just living their life thinking they're great. Next thing you know, that little bite on their ankle, like the video I watched, all the Komodo dragon did was bite the ankle of the buffalo one time, and then the buffalo went along its business, thinking it was okay. About a week later, the animal weakens, starts falling down, and doesn't really die. It's a slow death, but can't move anymore. And then you know what this fucking psychopath does? It seeks it out. It can smell the wounded animal for up to 6 miles. 6 miles. This thing is like an assassin. Like you remember that movie No Country for Old Men?
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, that guy's based on a Komodo dragon. It's like wherever you go, it's gonna fucking find you. It's like a guided missile, and it comes and it finds you. And while you're laying on the ground, you know, almost dead, still alive, the Komodo dragon just starts eating your ass. They start usually from the ass. I guess, you know, it's not that stupid. It's not as stupid as a buffalo. That's the sad thing. Predators are always smarter than prey. It's brutal. And probably starts eating from the ass side because it wants to stay away from the mouth of the wounded animal.
Is that a fact? They always start from the ass?
No, but all the videos I've watched, I've seen that. But I'm guessing that's why it is. Can you check
it might be like an unspoken Komodo dragon rule. Like they all just know it amongst each other. Start with the ass.
Yeah, start with the ass. It also seemed like, I just said it because it seems like common sense, you know? To be like, let me start. First of all, there's a lot of meat back there, you know? That's where there's a lot of meat. And also, you know, you want to stay probably as far away from the animal's mouth or horns or whatever, even though the thing can't move because it's dying from the disease from your mouth. And then it pretty much always eats the prey while it's alive. I'm going to give a shout out to an Instagram account right now. There's 2 of them you guys should follow. One is Nature is Scary.
Oh, I follow that
Yeah.
one. That's some funny shit. That's some scary shit.
Scary shit. And then this guy just started a new one, which is, he takes it to a new level. It's called Nature is Mental. And he even advertises it. He's like, in his description, he's like, unlike a lot of the other sites, mine is raw. And I mean, the things that he shows. So he's the one who posted this thing about the Komodo dragon. He also posted this video of a baboon capturing a gazelle or whatever those animals are, whatever those fast animals that always get eaten.
Antelopes or
Antelope, I think. I think it was an antelope. And a baboon will, on occasion, just find like a young antelope by its mother and just snatch it and then eat it while it's alive. And this baboon had the baby and was just eating it in front of the mother trying to get it. So you're just watching the baby go try to reach out for the mom while the baboon's just picking out the guts like spaghetti and just clawing at the mom to keep her away while he's eating her alive. I mean, nature's fucking brutal. But Komodo dragons definitely caught my attention. You know,
yeah, it says that they try to make a cavity to shove their whole head in. So maybe that's why they start with the ass, because it's already kind of an opening.
Oh, they try to shove their whole head in?
Yeah, they try to form a cavity in the animal to shove their head in.
To eat whatever in there.
Yeah, I guess to get all the guts and stuff, to get the real good stuff.
Yeah, so that's God's beautiful planet right there is my point.
Animals are scary.
Animals are scary, and that's what the truth is. I mean, that's the reality we inhabit. The only reason we've been able to distance ourselves from that is because of our brain. Our brain can kind of project into the future. We got an opposable thumb that can kind of grab shit and make tools. And so we were able to become the ultimate killer, because that's what really we are. I mean, come on, dude. You ever go to a fucking factory farm? I mean, we are the apex predator, you know? Most of our protein comes from dead animals, lesser life forms, and we only call them lesser because we can kill them, you know? I mean, they're much greater than us if we had to survive outside. If we had to survive outside, you know, we would be fucked. We'd be prey again. Because a lot of fucking a lynx lives outside. So we only call them lesser because we build houses and we just kill them all. Most humans on the planet get their fucking protein from meat if you're rich enough to afford meat. And we kill them all. So that's the planet. That's the reality. We kind of paint this sort of illusion on top of it of like, of beauty and things like that. And we're capable of beauty, but that's my point. Only humans really seem to be the only ones really capable of figuring out like rules and law. The rule of law. That is the one specific thing that is the most peaceful thing of any animal that any animal's ever created. Every scientific advancement, every technological advancement has been enabled by the rule of law. Because if you don't have rule of law, then fucking people are acting like savages. You can't sit in your little house and think of science because, there's a raiding army coming to get you.
Do you know what animal that scientists have said if all humans went extinct would be next on top of the food chain, would pretty much take over?
Roaches.
No.
Mice.
No.
Let me guess.
Give me 5. Give me your top 5 guesses you would say.
Roaches?
No.
Mice?
No.
Germans?
Close. Close.
Let's do this. Greeks?
No.
No. Oh, surprising. Superior people can't do it. Okay, last guess. I'm going to go.
I said humans, by the way, so it won't be a human that takes over.
I'm going to go something underwater. I'm going to go with.
Oh, there you go. You're getting closer.
Skeeters.
What are skeeters?
Mosquitoes.
Oh, no. Those aren't underwater.
You've never been outside New York, have you?
Sometimes, I have to make a delivery every now and then.
You gotta...
But anyway, the answer is squids, giant squids.
Squids.
Smart motherfuckers. Smart motherfuckers. They would be next on top if we all went.
Really? I said you've never been outside New York because skeeters, that's kind of like a southern way to call it. The South. Southern people call them mosquitoes. Skeeters.
Skaters.
Skaters. Sounds like skaters, but skeeters. So squids. And why is that?
They're just smart. I guess they just get it. I guess they're just a little bit smart, which I thought it would be like dolphins or something, but I guess they just get it. They could probably make dolphins and shit do what they want.
They look like alien squids.
They might be.
Yeah.
That's why they're up next.
Yeah, those those oily, gross squid. They taste good, though. I like squid. I like
delicious.
A good squid.
Some calamari?
Yeah.
Good calamari?
Good, yeah.
Delicious.
So squids would really be the ones if if everything went extinct.
They would be on top.
They would be on top. How? Why?
It was something about their intelligence. It's something about the way they communicate. And, like, they're kind of off the grid, too. Like, we don't know how many squids are in the world because they're just so off the grid.
Yeah.
And they're just smarter than most other animals. That might be why we can't really find them and shit, because they're just smart. They can avoid us.
Do they live in, like, deep water?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It was specifically, like, giant squids. It was, like, one type of squid that was the giant squid that lives, like, super under the water. They find one, like, every 10 years and shit.
Those things could take pretty much anything down, right?
It's like the Kraken. Those Kraken type shits.
What are Krakens?
Giant squid. You never heard of the Kraken?
No.
Really? Like
No.
the Pirate's Tales? Go get the Kraken?
No.
What?
See, I
That's
never
the
been
giant
outside of New
squid?
York either.
Yeah, they talk about the Kraken everywhere other than New York.
What's the Kraken?
It's like the actual myth behind it is that Davy Jones had a giant squid that he would use to take down ships, and it was called the Kraken. Like, whenever you hear of an old sea monster and shit, it's always the Kraken.
Ah.
Have you never seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
Ah.
I haven't. See, I'm not interested in any magical real movie except for Game of Thrones. It's the only thing that's got me. Yeah, I like Game of Thrones. But anything else, if there was like a talking squid or a bird, that I wasn't into it. You know? And so Pirates of the Caribbean is kind of like magical realism, right?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is where you, like, draw the line.
That's where I draw the line, yeah. And I didn't think I was going to like it until I started watching it. And then, I'm just not, I like reality. I'm really into reality. I would rather watch a Woody Allen movie than watch, like, a superhero movie. I don't understand what the big hoopla is about superhero movies.
About, like, Infinity War and stuff?
All that shit, yeah. I'm like, this guy can't fly. Nobody can fly. I'm like, oh, wait, X-Men, this guy's got, this chick turns green. I'm like, I'm always just sitting in the movie going, this is not real. I like stories based in reality because I am a true blue psychopath. By the way, true blue psychopath of the week, Komodo fucking dragons. TBP. even though I would practice that when I still did it slow, Chris does them fast.
Yeah.
I wonder why that he has a special talent for being able to do acronyms so quick.
Only when he does them, though.
Yeah, only when he does them. Right, we discovered that. Yeah, because he's a true blue psychopath himself, control freak. So he can't do it. But True Blue, the TBP, definitely Komodo dragons. Go check them fucking psychopaths out. I would say they're up there. They're in the Animal Psychopath Hall of Fame. We should have a History Hyenas Animal Psychopath Hall of Fame, and hyenas are definitely in there. This one you got today.
I got a good one today.
These
good
motherfuckers are so in need of a dentist. It is unbelievable. Their teeth are candy corn yellow. And where'd you find this one? This guy's got no ear.
Google Images. They always give them. I was actually gonna use the one that you guys use to like make the poster, the history, but they're just so covered in blood, those hyenas, that I found it too graphic to put up.
Yeah, we use it as a logo, but it's too graphic for one episode.
Yeah, those two hyenas really fucked up whatever they fucked up.
Now, the thing about the hyenas, the reason why his ear is missing is it could be either from a fight with another animal, but when hyenas haze each other, when they gang up on each other, first of all, they always kill their brothers. They constantly, like, a lot of times there's so much fratricide between hyenas, they kill themselves all the time. I mean, kill each other. So, but when they haze one, they always fucking rip his ear off. I've seen this many times. They grab him by the ear. Have you ever watched one of those videos? We'll post. We're gonna start posting clips.
You want to watch one right now? We could put one.
Yeah, throw one up right now. A hyena always grabs the other hyena by the ear and just holds on to it for like 40 minutes, and just yanks it around and rips it off. Hyena rips off another hyena's ear. Yeah, they're constant. Look at this. Hyena face gets... Oh, no, that's a line. Yeah, check it out.
He got excited as hell.
They're having a massive fight. Massive fights happening here.
See, I just lay in bed and watch these fucking videos. Oh, God. I mean, it's brutal.
Well, this is going to be very hard to watch, but we are going to stay here. So if you cannot keep watching, you're going to just simply have to turn off the TV. This is very, very serious.
Who's he talking to?
I think it's like a guide, and he's talking to the other people.
So why is he saying turn off the TV if they're live?
Oh, it might be. Oh, Safari Live.
Yeah. I love it. Pause it for a second. Pause it for a second.
Hyenas do fight.
I love it that this is the fucking safari truck is probably filled with these, like, a bunch of British families. Like,
wanted to see a nice giraffe.
Yeah.
Eating a tree.
Like, what, Mama? At what point do we feed the giraffes? Honey, just take for a little. They're going to drive us a little bit, and then afterwards they're going to show us some lions, and then they promised, Mummy, that they will let us feed the giraffe, and then they just kind of veer off into here and it's like, all right, first we're going to show you these hyenas. Yeah, good luck eating lunch after this safari. What we're watching right now, Zach just found a great video of a pack of hyenas ganging up on some hyena. That's how hyenas are. The hyena's probably sick, maybe weak, Maybe said something about the other hyena's mother. They are a matriarch. Hyenas are like the Italians of fucking animals. They love their mothers so much. I love my mother. That, like, if you talk about their fucking matriarch, this might happen to you.
I feel like that hyena looked at the camera, too, like he knew he was getting fucked up. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, I think the other ones almost screamed world star, too. Let's watch the rest. Holy shit.
Fiercely amongst different clans, and sometimes even within their own clan.
Oh, God.
And it's often the females that will compete most ferociously
These are
for the
chicks.
hierarchy of queen.
These are chicks.
And it looks like right now, one individual hyena is in serious trouble. It's one ear.
You
it's
think?
just about being ripped off. And like I said, this isn't easy to...
Thanks for telling us. He finally got free. Oh, she finally got free. So these are
It's
chicks.
fucked up, though.
Yeah. And look at the other ones. They just start grazing grass like nothing. Oh, and they just leave it. Look at them. They go smelling around like, yo, maybe we'll find some berries.
Oh, look at its ear. Its ear's hanging off.
Oh, God. And the other ones are just chilling. And then they just look at it. They just leave them. They just leave her. Oh, that's fucking brutal. I mean,
Now,
might as well kill.
if it
I mean,
tries to
oh,
move,
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
It looks like it's going to. Oh no.
Oh, it's got a
Yeah,
broken leg
okay,
too.
Back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Back foot has been completely broken. So I'll take back what I've just said. This hyena is in dire straits.
What do you think? It was
Look at
okay?
those wounds. I mean, that's a two-sided fight, that, and
Yeah.
I think we are sitting in the middle of a battle zone from last night.
Scars he got.
Yeah,
got
that
in
one.
A few hits.
Yeah, he took. Yeah, you could tell who won that fight.
Sorry.
I mean, he's walking
Coming
though.
right up
She's
close as
walking.
if it almost
This
thinks
hyena's
we
walking
can help
away
it.
with one ear
can't.
and a broken. Look at that foot.
It's going. It's trying to
help
tell.
you.
It's like, look at what this
Foot is
motherfucker just did to
Yeah,
me.
no, it's trying to go to the truck and being like, "Yo, can you take me to a fucking hospital, please? You're just gonna
At least
stand
it
there and
is on
watch."
the move. Oh no, that back foot is just too much.
So why are you standing there?
I mean, at that point in the wild, you're pretty much done for. Like,
Yeah.
if you're like that.
Yeah, you can't just call an ambulance. You can't. Cops aren't gonna show up. I mean, you're just fucked. That is brutal. Yeah, and they just ripped him off. They don't. I don't. It's like, why? At least kill him, man. Kill her. Crazy thing was, those were chicks. That was a good old girl
Yeah.
fight. A girl fight, a hyena girl fight's pretty vicious. Yeah, pretty fucking vicious. A lot more vicious than a human girl fight. So my point is, back to my original point, is like, everyone says, people got to be godlike, you know? But, you know, that's not really accurate. If you want to talk about, like, what's accurate and what we do know, not to get too philosophical without Chrissy D. And that's why I like having Chrissy D here. He doesn't let this happen.
Should I get the X-Files music from when you get too crazy?
You might. Yeah, that could be a good thing. That could be a real good thing. But, you know what you never hear is maybe God does exist, and maybe God needs to be more human-like. Because think about it. We're the only ones who created rule of law. We're the only ones who can imagine a better world than he created. When you look at his world, it is actually fucking brutal. Full of killers and prey. That's it. It's just a ball floating in space full of psychopaths who eat their prey. Fucking some cannibals, fratricide, all types of grisly murder and violence. And only humans are the ones who can kind of conceive of anything better. In fact, we created God and endowed him with the goodness in humanity.
Going too far.
There we go. No, that was a good one. Because I got the idea out, so it's good. So that's basically the idea. Maybe God should be more human-like, you know? But then we wouldn't have all these fascinating animals to watch. And I don't know why I'd rather watch a hyena. Because to be honest with you, that's the crazy thing is, like, I'm a good person. Here's the deal. I know we did the psychopath test, and we already knew Zach was a psychopath because of what his job is, you know? This is his side job. His main job is killing infidels, right? So we knew he was a psychopath. Certified psychopath. We knew Chrissy was a true blue psychopath because he's the original King Gay, right? And he's wild. But I'm not a psychopath. I'm a good kid. I know I rated higher than him on the test when we did that on that episode, but I'm a good kid. I'm a good kid. But I would rather watch hyenas ripping another hyena's ear off or killing lion cubs, killing babies of their rival lions, than, you know, watch impalas. I mean, you know, Impala, let's be honest. Isn't it wild? Like, everyone wants to watch Goodfellas. Goodfellas is a movie about fucking criminals, killers, thieves, and for some reason, even the good people on the planet would rather watch that. Bad people are just more entertaining, no?
Yeah, like in Halloween, like, would you rather be the big bad wolf or one of the three little pigs? I feel like the villain has always been a little more. People rather. I don't know. It's weird now with superheroes and shit. People want to be the hero, but used to be people really like the villain, like getting in his head.
I think still.
Yeah.
I think so. For the
Now
most
it's
part.
more realistic, like people looking up like serial killers and stuff.
Yeah.
Getting in their brains.
Yeah, or on that would be funny if Halloween I just walked in with like if somebody's Halloween costume was just like they walked in with a woman's head and they're just like, I'm Ed Kemper, and they started fucking the head.
That'd be dedication to the role.
That would be a great Halloween costume. I mean, not a real head, but you know, like a fake head. You get like one of those model heads.
Like a mannequin.
Yeah, because that's what he did. Is he cut his mother's head off and he fucked it.
That's what Ed Kemper did?
Yeah, that's what he did. The human brain is fucking, to quote Chrissy D, wild. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Because think about it like this. Shark Week, huge.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Shark Week. Everyone watches documentaries about lions. Nobody has ever tuned in for a documentary about fucking turtles. There's no Turtle Week unless they're the snapping turtles that kill. Then people want to see it. Here is, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save you know what? That's kind of a good idea. You know, we're kind of a new podcast. We should probably be doing a True Blue Psychopath of the Week every fucking week. And I already have the next one queued up because I've been watching so many of these. I'm not going to say it now. I'm going to save it for next week.
Save it.
I'll tell you after the podcast so you can go research it and be fucking dumbfounded about how, because it's the most, I'm going to tease it a little bit. It is the most unexpected, like, killer you'd ever, it's not even, the thing doesn't even move. Doesn't even move, and it kills everything in its path. So anyway.
Salt.
Huh?
Is it salt?
Could be salt, yeah.
Salt?
So that's actually table salt. Is a good, table salt could win the TBP of the week at some point.
It's taking out motherfuckers left and right.
For sure, for sure. Sugar too. True Blue Psychopath. Added sugar, not in oranges, you know. But I gotta give definitely this week the True Blue Gay, I guess, is to Childish Gambino.
Ah.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that video, the song. So much of life is timing, too. You know, I've been thinking about it. Like, that's what luck really is. When you define luck, there is a lot of luck involved in life. My dad always told me that, you know? He's like, he always asked me, he said, remember, if you'd rather be smart or lucky, always choose lucky. You know? Smart people get fucking killed all the time. But I've been thinking about what luck really means, and of course you work hard and everything to be prepared for those moments or try to get lucky. You basically work hard and prepare to try to get lucky. And what lucking is timing. It's just fucking timing. That's where the luck comes in. Like, not to say that this video wouldn't be huge in a different context, because it might be. I mean, you can never know. But that this is coming right on the heels of Kanye's fucking Trump love, you know, calling slavery a choice. True Blue, I mean, if it wasn't for the Komodo dragon upstaging Kanye this week in my life, then obviously, as far as humans go, Kanye is the True Blue Psychopath of the week. Because he straight out just called, he's like, 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Well, do you think that's like his real thoughts, or do you think he's just kind of trolling like how a lot of today's famous people do and trying to, because he has 2 albums coming out. Do you think he's promoting, or do you think that's his real shit?
No, I think he's totally promoting, but that's bad in and of itself that he's using that to promote. It's like, how much of a true blue fucking psychopath are you that you're trying to get on the airwaves by saying slavery, you know what I mean? By getting attention by saying slavery was a choice to promote your fucking album? Is that where you're at, Kanye? Bad meaning bad on that one.
Bad.
The real bad. But anyway, you know, he's just, I don't know why people listen to fucking Kanye so much. Just fucking Kanye, you know? People.
He's a sign to make America great again hat that he wears all the time.
I get worried about the black community sometimes, though, you know, because, you know, they're the real, black people and Native Americans, I think we've talked about this, to me are the ones who've really suffered the most in this country, you know? Everybody else case by case. You know, people get fucked up, but it's like, you know, those are 2 systems that were in place to extinguish people, to torture people. And it's like, I get worried about the black community sometimes that you read these tweets and shit. People are putting so much. It's like, because I'm Greek, and I know the Greek American community would never care what Yanni tweeted. You know, if Yanni the singer tweeted some shit, the Greek community's not even paying attention to Yanni in that way. They just go, oh, he's fucking a singer. They're not going to care about what he says. But for some reason, You know, Kanye's been anointed this genius.
Yeah,
I'm like,
when is it common knowledge that he was a genius? When did that become like common knowledge?
They
like,
made
he's a
him one.
genius. Yup.
Yeah, they just kind of said he's a fucking genius. And I'm like, in what world is Kanye fucking West a genius? He's not even that great of a rapper.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's not bad. He's not fucking Cool G Rap. He's not Rakim. He's not. I mean, you know. He's not even
Rakim, like real genius. That's some real genius.
That's
stuff
a
right
fucking. That is real deal rap right there. Even Eminem is a much better rapper. Just skills, you know.
But why is it though? Why do you think that people just consider? Because I thought that too. Like, when did it become? Because now people are like, Kanye's a genius, and they just like, yup, it's kind of like common knowledge.
I think because on any given day, he could either be a true blue gay or a true blue psychopath. He's the only one who flirts with both that I can think of right off the top of my head. Because he is so fucking wild that he's true blue gay sometimes, and then he's true blue psychopath as well. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question, dude. He's a rapper. He's a musician. He's dating a Kardashian. Who gives a fuck? He makes music. You know? He's made a couple songs that have some meaning behind them, I guess. You know, but so did fucking Bob Dylan. The whole the country's not following Bob Dylan. I mean, you make some good social points, okay. It doesn't mean you're a genius. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a fucking genius. I mean, that guy's an astrophysicist. Fucking follow him. If he's telling you, fucking listen to that guy. I mean, we just throw the word genius around so much, and people are like, well, he's a creative genius. I'm like, is he really that much of a fucking creative genius? Is he really? I mean, is he like Michelangelo? I mean, the guy's sitting there calling himself Walt Disney. Remember when he was like, I'm Walt Disney, I'm Michelangelo? It's like, dude, you make beats.
And Jesus. He also compared himself to Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, he's a crazy dude. He's a crazy, wild dude. And so that's why I get worried a little bit. That I see a lot of times my black friends are just like putting so much into Kanye fucking West. But anyway, my point being timing. Is like this Childish Gambino song, and then I think it got so much attention because it is a song that has like social import. It's about all these issues and stuff, and it's done well. It's a good song. It's a catchy song. It's a dope video. It's really a lot of stuff going on. It's meaningful. It's kind of deep. It's just great. It's good art, you know? It seems like it's good art. It seems like most people like it and feel like it's good art. But again, it's like I see people doing that now. They're putting so much stock into Childish Gambino. It's like, no, Childish Gambino or Kanye are not going to fucking, you know, are not going to change, you know, change your situation if it's not good. You know what I mean? It's not, stop putting so much fucking stock into musicians. I mean, they say good stuff, but it's like, even John Lennon, it's like, John Lennon is a musical genius or whatever you want to call him, but like, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, he was still a little utopian. You're not going to base your world model on him just going like, hey, man, no more war. No more war. You're like, yeah, it's a nice sentiment, but it's really got nothing to do with reality, you know? And so it's like, yeah, you can be inspired by these guys, I think. You can enjoy their music, and you can enjoy their message even. But, like, stop with this fucking, like, these people aren't Jesus. It's just a dude. You know, it's like the people who follow history hyenas and to learn history. Don't do that. Don't follow this podcast to learn history or to learn about nature. All right? Exactly. It might inspire you to go learn about it on your own, but we are two fucking king gays. King and Prince. I'm the Prince gay. Chris is the king gay. And ISIS is the Lord terrorist, and the three of us are out here just trying to entertain you. I mean, come on, we never talk about it because you never want to say I'm here to entertain you, but that's what we do. Entertainment. No different from Kanye, Childish Gambino, just on a much, much smaller level, you know? So it's the same ass fucking shit. But the timing is unbelievable because I noticed that. I've noticed that about a few things recently. Is like things really take off when the timing is right. Even Michelle Wolf's correspondence dinner. It's just the timing of it. It's just the timing. Like, you know, all that stuff had been said about Huckabee Sanders, and people on the right were always like, oh, the hypocrisy. They're always going like, oh, you want to be a feminist and you don't want to talk about women's looks, but you're okay talking about the looks of her and how trying to point out that hypocrisy. And then she went hard, and it's like the left doubled down on that. They're like, yeah, well, if Trump does it, we can do, two wrongs make a right. That's basically what they were saying. That was basically the argument for the supporting the jokes, though that specific joke, really, because that's what the controversy was really about, was that joke. Maybe the Kelly Conway joke or whatever about getting trapped in a tree, but not really. And then the other one was abortion. But even the abortion joke, what I find funny is that the abortion jokes got upstaged by Huckabee Sanders' fucking mascara and being called a liar.
And for the record, all of those jokes were hilarious.
Yeah, they were great
I
jokes.
laughed at all of them.
It's great jokes. They were great jokes. But the one that caused the controversy was really about timing. Was it because that was sort of like the piece of steak that the two sides were kind of, pulling over, trying to fight over. It's like the left and the right are like lions, and fucking the steak is that
Antelope?
No, Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Huckabee Sanders, the right to make fun of that Huckabee Sanders clearly looks like Frankenstein in a wig. You can't just say, if you say that, it's in front of her. Look, I mean, the woman's a strange looking woman, but so was Janet Reno. Janet Reno was a dude. I mean, she was like 6'4". It's probably before your time, Janet Reno. She was it was a Clinton administration.
I could have been busy with some sort of
Oh,
operation.
you could have been busy. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot your schedule.
Yeah.
I forget your schedule sometimes gets in the way of.
When I'm not here, just assume I'm busy doing some shit.
People used to make fun of fucking Janet Reno. Huckabee Sanders, strange looking broad, no question, right? I mean, objectively. You guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like Michelle, she also talked about her own looks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of,
Yeah, she could have called herself the female Carrot Top at least once, though.
Yeah.
Just to sort of Eminem'd all those memes. She should have seen that coming. Because, those memes are fucking funny. The memes coming from the right. They go like, wait, did you guys catch Carrot Top's new act? And then there's a picture of her and a picture of him.
The one thing today's world is definitely doing correct is the memes.
Memes are killing it.
We're in a bad state, but the memes just keep getting better.
Memes are always good. Yeah. And what's funny is like nobody ever knows where they start. They're just like, it's just like, the internet. They just call it like the internet because those things get passed around so much. I remember I created one that went viral once. I did, you could pull it up. It's Derrick Rose's new sneaker meme. I created it on my old sports show, 2 Point Lead, and the thing reached like 30 million. Yeah, there it is on the left. Yeah, that's me. I created that. That was my idea, and it's yeah. We even put 2 Point Lead. That was the show. And, the new Derrick Rose sneaker, this was 2015, because he's always hurt. We did it as an orthotic fucking shoe. So, that was created by the department at 2 Point Lead, the producers there. And we put it up. I put it up, and it went viral from my page, from my fan page. And people copied and pasted it so much. It was just like, I remember it got sent to me. It's just out there. And even when you Google it, it's the first thing that comes up. And even from my page, I just saw, because it shows you, Facebook shows you the impressions of how many people have seen it. And it was like 30 fucking million people had seen it. And it had been shared 10,000 times or something. And then it was just people were just copying and pasting like most of us do. And it's just, that was my contribution to the internet. I guess when you make a meme, you just you're throwing it out there for people's amusement. Yeah, there it is. The Derrick Rose meme. Fucking brutal. You know what documentary I watched last night? Are you a basketball fan at all? No.
I follow. I don't put a lot of, I mean, it's not as important as what Kanye has to say, but I do try to keep up.
Yeah. Right now, it's really important. What was hilarious about the Kanye Twitter? He'll say something about he'll go Chicago is still fucked up even when Obama was president, right? And then his next tweet will be like, yo, you should go outside because fresh air is good for you. That was actually one of his tweets.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, go outside because it's fresh air. And then another one's like, yo, I'm just all about the now. Right? I mean, how are people taking it seriously? It's like, if Kanye tweets something political or social, just wait for the next tweet before you call him a genius.
What did you see? Trump retweeted him and
Yeah.
tweeted back?
Yeah.
Big Kanye fan, Trump.
Yeah. Well, they met. Remember they met at Trump
Yeah.
Tower and everything like that. Yeah. I mean, look, dude, Trump is hilarious. There's no way around it. I mean, he's just an entertaining guy. I just feel bad for anyone who's going to run against him for re-election. It's going to be really hard to beat him because now he's getting experienced at it. Like he's got his feet wet a little bit. And I think we should try to maybe nominate. If you want to take him down, you may have to nominate like a true comedian.
I mean, I think do you think Sanders could take him down or not? It's too far gone for
I
that.
don't think so, man. I like Bernie because Bernie's like. I like Bernie because Bernie's honest. Bernie seems honest. He seems like an honest, good guy. He seems, and I think everyone gets that. I think he seems very well intended, but he's just the problem. He doesn't match up really well with America, in that America has always been such a rake as much resources, make as much money kind of country. And I don't think a 80-year-old dude is going to be the one who's going to come in and fucking be able to get the young generation and the corporate interests and the rich people to all kind of compromise and get behind him, He'll get, fucking Democrats undercut him. They pulled a real Tanya Harding on his ass. Took out his kneecap.
What was the documentary you watched?
There's a documentary I watched. This is a real switch in gears. This is the fucking definition of wild right here. To go from Bernie Sanders, God, Komodo dragons, to a documentary about Vince Carter in Toronto as a Toronto Raptor. Yeah, I mean, that's initially what I was coming in here to talk about, but we're already at the fucking 47-minute mark because me and Zach flowing like crazy here without the true blue gay who we miss, who will be back for the next episode. But it was sort of the history of how basketball, and then I went and did a whole bunch of research on it, how basketball kind of took off in Canada after Vince Carter became a Raptor, which was fascinating to me. It's a great documentary. It's light, of course, but it's inspiring in some way. And if you're a sports fan, and specifically a basketball fan, I highly recommend it. I think it's called Vinsanity, or something like that. Or no, the Vince Effect. They should have fucking called it Vinsanity.
Vinsanity would have been a little
That
clever.
should have been better.
That would have been more clever.
Yeah, but I mean, they obviously mentioned Vinsanity a lot, but I think it's called the Vince Carter Effect or the Vince Effect, and it's on Netflix. And I watched it, and because hockey is like the only sport really in Canada that anyone cares about at all. I mean, it's the national sport. That's what sells the most jerseys, the most fucking Gatorades, whatever they had up there, until kind of Vince Carter. There was 2 expansion franchises that came to Canada in the early 90s, was it? And it was the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors. And this is how much Canada didn't really give a fuck about basketball. The Vancouver Grizzlies folded fast. I mean, they moved to Memphis, Tennessee. And then Toronto was really faltering. Like, you couldn't give those tickets away. Then Tracy McGrady got drafted by the Raptors, but he really wasn't a good player at all. He was young. I think he was like 19. He came out of high school. So, but you could see his potential just by his athleticism. But when Vince came, and then it kind of took off. And the thing was, it wasn't just that he was playing for the Raptors. You see, because the whole thing is like people didn't want to. A lot of these guys never even heard of fucking Toronto. I mean, I didn't even think about Toronto when I was a kid. Like, now Toronto is like on the map in pop culture because of Drake, and I mean, it is just fucking on the map. Basically because of Drake and because of fucking Vince Carter, which is interesting because Vince Carter embraced Toronto. You know, the players before that just didn't want to live in Canada. I mean, it's a pain in the fucking ass. It's a pain in the ass. I know it's a pain in the ass for me, you know, when we go to, you know, Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal, or I've done gigs in Toronto, and you get on a plane at JFK and you go for a 40-minute flight, right, to a country where everyone sounds exactly like you until they say a or a boot. You know, that's how you catch a fucking Canadian. You know, you're like, they blend in just like normal people until you go like, you say, what were you talking about? And they go, what was I talking about? And then you're like, you're fucking Canadian. Caught you. And so you're in a country that's fucking 40-minute flight from you. Everyone talks like you for the most part. Everyone speaks English. And you got to take out your passport and go through customs. You're like, this is a fucking pain in the ass. I'm waiting on a long snake line to, you know what I mean? Just like, whatever, dude. Why do we have to do this? Can't we just like, it'd be so much easier if we just conquered Canada and let it still be called Canada. But like, all I needed was my driver's license to fly in there. I mean, what am I smuggling in that you don't have? You know? Jesus. So it's a pain in the ass. And it's freaking cold most of the year. But, you know, not any colder than Maine or Wisconsin or so whatever. So a lot of the NBA players probably, you know, when it first started, didn't want to be there because they probably just didn't want to go through customs. And then you got all this cash and you got to go. At that time, it was different, you know. It wasn't as easy with credit cards and all that shit in the early 90s. So you had to fucking change your money, you know. And then you get taxed. Like, Americans probably hated that because then they got to pay that fucking Canada tax, put into that pot for people's health care. When you're a millionaire, you don't want to do that shit.
Fuck free healthcare.
Yeah, like, fuck everybody. I'm a millionaire, you know? Yeah, everyone's a socialist, dude, until they get rich. You know? Everyone's for Bernie until they become a millionaire. And then they're like, you know what? These taxes are a little high. People should fucking work for a living like me. You know? And then Vince Carter, he just embraced Toronto. He really embraced it. He invested in the club up there. He became part owner of this nightclub. This nightclub became the hot spot for players who were coming through town to play the Raptors, to hang out, and they would all go there. And he was sort of like the ambassador for all these NBA players to how cool Toronto can be. And Toronto is a cool-ass city. Toronto is a very diverse, international city, and it's a big city. And it's kind of crazy that a basketball player, because even Drake's in the documentary talking about how everything kind of like leads back to Vince and that whole era when he won the dunk contest. And let's be honest, he's the best dunker of all time. I mean, dunker, no question. Vince Carter, dude, jumped over a fucking 7'1" French guy in the Olympics. It's the craziest in-game dunk that I have ever seen in my entire life. I think Yannis Pappas just did something similar, but it didn't even look the same. And it wasn't a 7'1" fucking guy. And I mean, Vince Carter jumped clean over this guy and dunked. So, I mean, that dunk contest was just iconic and legendary. And the excitement around Vince was legendary. And it sort of sparked basketball. And now you look now, it's like a whole country cheering for the Raptors. When the Cavaliers knocked him off, what was it, last year or the year before? I can't remember. In Toronto. And then the whole stadium just stayed there, and they just kept chanting the Raptors, you know. And even LeBron James was giving an interview, and he was like, he took a moment. He was like, can we just take a moment to see how fucking crazy this is? It's never happened. I don't know if that's ever happened in sports history where a team got beat pretty handedly, and then the fans just stayed in the sold-out arena chanting for their Raptors. That's how much Canada fell in love with basketball. And now because of Vince Carter, you got all these Canadian players fucking playing in the league. Andrew Wiggins, the little point guard over, what's his name? Corey Joseph. Obviously Steve Nash. Although Steve Nash was the same generation for the most part. A little later maybe, but pretty much same generation. But there's a bunch of Canadian players, man. Favors, I think, was he Canadian? There's a bunch of Canadian players, and basketball's huge out there. He even presided over this big charity game up there that used to sell. They sold out the Air Canada Center. Dude, he was called Air Canada. I mean, he was basketball's ambassador to a whole country, you know? And it's kind of taken off there. And the Raptors are a big part of the culture now, and it's not just hockey up there. And I thought that was a pretty crazy thing. I thought that was a very interesting thing. Because people always say, I hate when people say, like, sports are just a game, you know? Because it's not, dude. It's not. And I think the ancient Greeks were aware of that, too. That's what, you know, the Olympics was like an important, you know, humans have, again, this goes back to my original point about how humans in some way, maybe God needs to be more human-like. Because the natural state of things, the way God created it, is people fucking fight for territory and to kill each other. Whereas in sports, it's basically war with rules. We get to take that instinct that we have in us, and make no mistake, it's a fucking instinct in us to kill each other, be tribal, team up, and try to destroy the other team. That's just in us. It's in every animal. They fight over territory. And sports turns that instinct into something gorgeous. You know, it's war with rules. And so it's very important to have sports. You know, you can always tell how good a country's doing by how much their people are into fucking sports. You never see, like, Iraq never has, like, a goddamn, you know, World Cup team. You never see Uzbekistan in the World Cup, you know, because they got other shit going on. So it's a very important thing, and not only is it important to house that instinct and turn it into something beautiful, that horrible instinct in us, and turn it into poetry kind of, but it's also fucking creates these icons that become the most important people in the world. That just shows you that sports is more than just a game, because it's the purest thing on the planet. Nepotism doesn't work because everyone's trying to win. So it's like, you can't just be someone's nephew and get a spot on the team. Your team's going to lose. So everyone's trying to win. So it's pure in the sense that you're looking for the best players, the best coach, the best system to win. And so it's really pure in that way. And we should always remember that and hold it up as an example of what everything else should be, a meritocracy. You know, it's like, you know, we're not all created equal, and we all don't work equally as hard. We shouldn't all get the same shit. And people who work hard or are brilliant should be rewarded for that brilliance, because it does benefit everybody else in a lot of ways. I mean, think about this, dude. Michael Jordan was the most famous person on the planet Earth. On the planet Earth. Not the most famous person in Chicago. Not the most famous basketball fans person. You know, not the most famous person sports fans have heard of, or basketball fans have heard of. He was the most famous fucking person on the planet. I still have his sneakers on to this day. I remember when I was in Yugoslavia, because my buddy Marco, who I went to college with, is from Montenegro, of the former Yugoslavia. And I was with my buddy Todd, who was black, my old roommate from college. And we were walking around. And most of those people, which is very different from my experience, it's crazy when you go to another country or another place that's pretty much homogeneous, you know, and they've never seen a black person. Nobody in that country, for the most part, had ever seen a black person in real life, which is fucking wild. Because I grew up in New York City. I mean, sometimes I barely saw white people, you know? But it was weird to be there, and everywhere we went, in Yugoslavia, people would point at Todd and just go, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. So, yo, he put African Americans on the map. Him, Michael Jackson. But, I mean, Michael Jordan was more famous than fucking everybody, man. It was like Jesus, Muhammad.
I was going to say, I remember we did an episode where I looked up the most famous people, like, ever, and it was Jesus and then Michael Jordan.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, on Google. That's what Google told me. Jesus, and then right after him is Michael Jordan.
How crazy is that? Because you know what? He's a warrior. Just like we have famous warriors like William Wallace, or who's some famous fucking warrior? You know, Genghis Khan. These dudes were bad dudes. Alexander the Great. These guys are famous. Jordan he's a warrior in a war with rules. And the reason we love warriors is because what they do is so superhuman. Like, you know, and it's competitive, and they're so they seem like demigods almost. And the way Jordan played at that time, nobody had ever seen anything like that. And the way he dominated, it was just so beautiful to watch, the way he would just fucking fly through the air and how competitive he was. I mean, he's a true blue psychopath and could care less about other human beings. I think that's pretty obvious. That you could just pick that up off his aura and how he just doesn't say anything about anything. And the few quotes that he has been quoted for have been like, hey, Republicans buy sneakers too or some shit. He don't care. I mean, the guy's a fucking billionaire. He could probably save the black community with his spending money. You know, if he just opened some businesses in some of those neighborhoods like Magic Johnson has. You know, and that's the real way. And that's the thing. I'm going to say something that you may think is controversial, but look, I'm a bleeding heart guy. But America is America. All right? So Kanye's fucking crazy and wild, but at the crux of it, every ethnic group does that in this country. Every ethnic group makes it as an ethnic group through money, through businesses, and then employing people from their ethnic group or doing business almost exclusively with people in their ethnic group. That's just the dirty secret of America. That's the way the Greeks did it. I know that's the way the Greeks did it because I'm fucking Greek, and I watch it. I've been to those events. I know that's the way Jews do it to a certain extent. I know that's the way Italians have done it. I mean, whoever else. I mean, that's just what you got to do. And it's like, you know, you go and then you make those neighborhoods great by opening businesses and making money for yourself, kind of the Republican way. I mean, it's kind of like, there is some fucking truth to it. You know what I mean? Of course, like anything, you don't want to be extreme about it, but there's some truth to that shit, you know? Where are we
Some
at?
of us want to be extreme about it.
Some
We are at an hour and 2 minutes.
hour and 2 minutes.
A wild hour and 2 minutes.
Fucking wild. It was a little too deep without Chrissy here. But you know what? One day I won't be here, and it'll be 100% fucking wild. It'll be, Chrissy keeps it light. Although Chrissy's a smart fucking guy. That's how much of a psychopath he is. He likes to pretend like he's an idiot, but he's a really smart guy. Not saying this was a smart episode, but we did talk about some deep shit. But we also did have some fun. Told you about Komodo dragons and how fucking wild they are. This episode's, I mean, this episode could be what? Komodo dragons were wild, or Vince Carter was fucking wild?
Vince Carter's wild. We also watched a hyena get its ear ripped off.
We did watch a hyena get its ear ripped off.
Covered a lot.
We covered a fucking lot of things in this episode. But, I mean, I got to say, if it wasn't for Vince Carter, I don't think anyone would know who Canada is. Just the same way Michael Jordan made basketball, and in a lot of ways, dude, it's even culture. It's not even basketball. It's like Michael Jordan himself. I mean, if he wasn't wearing, this is the thing I always think about. If he wasn't wearing like the Jordan 1s or the Jordan 3s or those sneakers that are still like the top selling sneakers in the fucking planet, would they be as popular? A lot of it was his aura, you know? Like he did what he wanted to do. Like back then they were wearing shorts up to here, and Jordan was the first one. He was like, I want my shorts here. And then everyone started wearing their fucking shorts there. It was like the power of his personality was so huge that he influenced the entire globe. And that's kind of what Vince Carter did for Canada. And he doesn't really, not a lot of people really trace that back to him. I mean, that's pretty huge to, you know, put a whole country on the map. I mean, nobody cared about Canada. Nobody was thinking about Canada. So would there have been a Drake without Vince Carter? You know, Drake doesn't seem to think so, at least in some part. He traces it all back to Vince, even himself. So Vince Carter, I mean, you know, also the guy's, I think he's still playing. I think he's like 42. And he's still fucking playing. Brutal. He went from being the global ambassador to a country for sports to the New Jersey Nets after that. I mean, and the crazy thing is that Toronto hated him. He didn't even want to leave, dude. Most players rejected. They did not want to play in Canada. Vince Carter loved it. He didn't even want to leave when they traded him after he had his Achilles injury. And they traded him to New Jersey. And then he would get booed all the way until like 3 years ago. Every time he came to Toronto, he would get booed, and it hurt him. That was, his mother admits it in the documentary. He's like, you know what? It really hurt him. And if you go watch that, when they finally gave him a round of applause after they played some tribute, it's a cool thing because they played a tribute video for him like 3 years ago. He's an old player now. They played a tribute video for him in the, during a Raptors game. And the whole place booed first, like they always do. And they just constantly booed this fucking guy. And then a cheer and a clap overtook the boos, and he started crying. And he cried. And there's a video of him crying, and he's saluting the crowd. And it like really meant a lot to him. So, Vince Carter, you're a good dude. You don't get enough credit for fucking creating Canada. They should put you on the money. They should put Vince Carter on fucking Canadian money. Because nobody gives a shit about Canada if it wasn't for fucking Vince Carter. So anyway, that just shows you how big a personality and how big sports really are. It's not just a game, man. And that's the end of this episode of History Hyena. This was History Hyena, singular. Because I've wandered away from the clan. I'm out on my own. And it's very dangerous out here. There's a lot of lions. They could pluck me off. I'm definitely not going to be welcomed back into my clan because they ripped my ear off. And now I'm wandering. I've been expelled from the fucking clan because I'm a weak cuck. And I'm walking around the Serengeti with one ear and yellow teeth. But you know what? My pseudo-penis is proud. And I'm going to die a proud hyena. You've been listening to History Hyena this week. Next week, we'll be back with the regular History Hyenas with King Gay himself. This has been Obi-Wan Cucknobi, the Robo Cheese Man, Yannis Pappas, Zach Isis, and we'll see you next week.
Ha 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 ha!